Hey everybody, and welcome back to UE5 BP Guru. Today we're going to be looking at setting up the functionality for a weapon system, a pistol rifle for now. There will be other weapons, but this should cover most of the functionality of everything, even if we add in some new weapons depending on what we're adding. To begin with, now the way we set up our AnimBP, we use the kind of bog standard UE5 one. We're going to be changing a lot about that today. We need to add in a few more blend spaces. We need, for today's episode, we need to add in, we need crouch, rifle, hip, BS1D. We'll also need we'll need to make pistol, we'll call it crouch, pistol, hip, I've done this wrong, sorry, apologies. Click your skeleton first. Pistol, hip, we're also going to need to set up a walking one as well. So let's make it 2 more and set it up for the female protagonist. Walk, pistol, hip, BS1D. And another one which will be walk. Oh, sorry, it's the second time I did that, getting ahead of myself. So we've done walk, pistol, hip. We need to do walk, rifle, underscore, hip, underscore BS1D. There's a reason I've given it the name hip. You'll see that in the next episode, but that's basically where we'll set up our aim down sights as well. But we've set up our crouch. Let's quickly just go through and set these up now. I have already retargeted a bunch of animations. I just found some off of the Unreal Marketplace. I think I used animation starter kit, and there was an animation pistol mocap one as well. That's where I've got all these animations for these. So when the editor opens up, we now just need to search for anything. We want pistol. Just search for pistol. Again, you'll have your own animations for, depending on the packs that you download. As I said, I use the pistol animation pack from mocap, but it gives us enough that we can set up just like a idle animation there, and a walking animation here too. Why is it not? Is that at the end? I can't tell. Let's go to asset details. Don't forget to set up your horizontal axis to speed, and I think ours is set to 154 crouching. So just make sure all of that matches up just like it does for our normal stuff. Set your speed in here too. It's probably easy if you just type it in. And then if we preview, she should start walking. It's a bit slow, it's because it's compiling shaders and stuff. But slowly but surely it is working. There we go, it is working, it's just being incredibly slow for some reason. Oh, there we go, it's kicked back in now. So yeah, that's working just how we need it for the pistol. Close it down and open up the next one. Do the same for rifle. This time I'm just going to put in rifle and look for the crouch stuff. We've got, that's probably the one we want. That looks about right. And let's try this one. Yeah, looks about right. Yeah, looks good. Speed, again, change these figures. Update that to 150. There we go. Save and close. Then we want to do now just our walk pistol hip. So again, just type in pistol. We want idle pistol. You can, again, you could use any one of these. You don't have to pick the one that I'm using. Or you could do relaxed if you wanted to instead. Get rid of that one. But then if you shoot, it's not going to look right. So you'll probably, you can utilize that definitely, but I think the faced out idle one is probably better for, because this is going to be a shooting mechanic. This isn't like if you were sat in place, not moving for a certain amount of time, or there was like no action or whatever's going on, you could probably set it up that it would go into that idle form. But for this, we definitely want the aiming out one just in case we want to shoot something. Great, that looks fine. Again, speed. We want this to be our walk speed, which is 300. I will check these figures before we do anything. There we go, perfect. Close that one down. Open up the walk rifle. Again, type in rifle. We want a probably a. I need to go back into the pistol. I've just realized something I've done, but that's fine. We want a jog forward with the rifle because this is going to be at 600. I forgot that we have our run set up in this, so it has to be set up to 600, not 300. So our jog will be at 600 because that is our running speed. So that looks fine. We then want a walk forward. We don't want the iron sights in it if we can help it, so let's see. Where's the idle? Oh, idle hip. Again, these two here you could use as like a, if you weren't moving, and it would just add to the realism of it. So that's it idling, that looks fine. It might be worth putting the jog in the walk instead and then having sprint wherever it's gone there. Yeah, that looks fine. Cool. Just make sure those figures are sat at their exact figures. That should be bang on 600. If it's slightly less, it just won't work. That's the kind of the basics of it. We need to now go back into our pistol and just change that to have a run effect on it. Okay, let's put in pistol. So we want to leave that as 300 and we want to change this to 600. And then put the jog in as the run, I guess. that'll do for now. Make sure that is set at 600 as well. Save, close. That's the basis of what we need now. I'm going to have to change that jog animation because looking at the jog compared to the walk is very different, but I'll find a way around that at some point. Now, we do that, as I said, we do drastically need to change the anim blueprint now. So this could get a little bit complicated. Hopefully it won't be too bad. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Don't need anything in here for now. Let's just click on the mesh and go to wherever our anim blueprint is. Now everything changed in the Mani blueprint, so we don't need to worry about the Quinn blueprint. This is where things need to change drastically, because I might actually have to set up another moving thing. We need a standard walk one. So create another one of these, and create. I think we use the default one, and I think that's the reason why. But we're going to be drastically changing a fair bit of this now to fit our needs. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Hello. We're going to be changing a lot of this now to drastically fit our needs, basically. So open that up, and we just want just a standard idle. Anything will do. Let's use the one we've been using already. We want a walk. Walk forward, that's fine. Set it at 300. And set this to 600. And then we want a run. That looks like it should be fine. 600, right, let's just check it. Looks fine. Yeah, that looks great. Save that, go back into our blueprint here. Okay, this is where things might get a wee bit confusing because we're going to be changing quite a bit. So our main states, we want the locomotion now, so let's change that. Let's get rid of all of that. Plug this into here for now. Compile. It should stay idle, that's great, but we're going to change some of this now. Get rid of everything basically we've set up so far. First things first, let's get the jump back in. Let's add in a new state, call it jump. And all we need to do for this is get our is in air variable. I'm going to make a new one is in air question mark. And I'm going to plug that in there. I thought it came with one, it obviously doesn't. We'll just make it, it's okay. And drag that back to our idle as well. And say get is in air not Boolean. And plug that in. Okay, compile. Go back to the locomotion now. That's our jump setup for a moment. We'll have to change it in the event graph because I thought it would already be set up to that, but it's obviously not. That's okay. Now, let's get that out of the way for a second. So, in the idle, we need to change this, get rid of that, and put in our new blend space for walking. Shove that in there. Let's get a ground speed variable for now. Sets it back to idle. I just want to check that it's working okay. Yes, it is. Great. That's brilliant. So that's already set up now, so we don't have to do anything else with that. And already we've gotten rid of an extra space. The next thing we want to do is come off, get a new state, call this crouching, shove in is crouching, come back to the locomotion, pull it back on itself, and get is not Boolean, fix that back up, compile, play. Okay, not working, that's fine. Let's go to our event graph. Oh, I know what I've done. It's because I haven't hooked up the crouching. Find our crouch blend space we've made, put that in there, shove that in, get the ground speed again, plug that in, compile, press play, press C, it works. The only thing that won't work at the minute is the jumping, and that's fine. Okay, this brings us to where we need to now set up our next few state machines. Okay, we need to set up from idle to, so I'm going to set up the new states for pistol and rifle. We'll call it pistol hip, and then we'll know that that is like our doing that. We need to come off down here, create a new state and call this rifle hip, like so. We need to then go here and call this one crouch rifle hip. Oh, nearly. Hip, like so, and then we can connect that up to normal crouching. Then we need to connect all of these back up, right. Then we need to do the same with this, so call this one crouch pistol hip. Oh, pistol hip. Pull that down there. Connect all that up like that. That's how it should look for now. So we need to create a couple of now Boolean variables in the event graph to make those changes. So we've got is crouching. Let's call one pistol active question mark, and we'll call one rifle active question mark. Yeah, we will have to have another one as well at some point, but that'll be done in the next episode. So now that we've got those booleans created, okay, that's fine. It's just about the booleans not being set up yet. The next thing we need to do is set those same values up in here. So we'll just call one pistol active and one called rifle active. And then in the event graph for the blueprint, the anim graph, the anim blueprint, we can pull off those is we call it pistol active, get pistol active, and get rifle active, just like so. And then all we need to do is set that and set that like so. Ooh. Pull those in together. What's going on here? Why are you? Okay, I don't know why I was doing that. That's fine. So let's try that again. Set rifle active in there. There we go. That's better. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so we've got all of that set up now. Why is there errors? The property associated with rifle active could not be found in. Oh, it's because I haven't compiled. There we go. Compile that now and it should be gone. There we go. So basically now, while we're changing weapons and crouching and combining all those things, we can now make it so that it will fluidly move between them all. All we need to do now is go through and add those booleans in. So we're just going to ask the question, is the pistol active? Come out of the locomotion, go into this, and we just want to say, is pistol active, and get an and boolean, and chuck in also is crouching true. So it will check if both of those are true, and if that is the case, then it will set it to that instead. Otherwise, if that was active, it would just and you only set those things, it would just get confused basically, and you'll get a load of errors. We want to do the same here as here. So if you're crouching and then all of a sudden you get your pistol out, it won't get confused and it will make sure it goes into this right slot. That's already set up. Now all we need to do with this is say, is pistol not active, not boolean active. Go back into locomotion. We want to now ask the question, we want to do this again here, but we want to ask if crouching is not active. Like that. There we go. So it wants to know if pistol is active and crouching is set to not active, and it'll go back into there instead. Okay. And then for this, we just want to know similar kind of thing, but now we just want to know, is crouching active, and is the pistol not boolean active. And then that should also go back straight into crouching now. Let's just make sure I haven't missed anything on the pistol. No. So you want to do exactly the same thing with the rifle, but just use the rifle booleans instead of the pistol ones. I will jump ahead now until that's all set up, and once that's set up we can move on to something else. So yeah, just do exactly the same thing with that, but with the rifle, and you should have everything fine. So when you're done, it should all look a bit like this. You should have everything sort of set and in place. We're going to fix the jump next, so all you need to do for that is change this is falling value to our new set is in air value, and reconnect that up like so. For system map, press play, jump. Oh, not quite. Okay, let's see if this... there wasn't actually anything wrong with the code. I've just made a bit of a weird mistake. The reason that's not jumping is because I haven't added a jump in. That makes so much sense. Let's just add that one in there. There we go. Compile. Press play. There you go. It jumps just fine now. The next thing I want to do now, just to test, we'll obviously get a gun hooked up and stuff like that, but what I want to do is get everything in place first, but I want to test it, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to make two temporary inputs. Let's close some of these down now that we know they're working. All of that is working fine. Let's add in, I'm going to call it, if I can see, temp pistol. We'll give it some proper action mappings, and I'm just going to give this 1. Literally keyboard input 1 for now. I'm not going to bother putting gamepad stuff in until I'm happy with the results. Temp rifle. And we'll call this 2. That's fine. Okay, that should automatically save. Let's go to the third person blueprints and get temp rifle and temp pistol, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to set them to true and false when I please. Set pistol, set rifle. We're going to have to set these twice as well. Because this will make sense hopefully in a minute. So when we press our rifle, we want it to activate both of those. Okay, and when we need a flip-flop actually, don't we? Flip-flop. Flip-flop it, it would be way better. And on our okay, unclick that one. Right, so when we press our rifle button, it should now set that to true and then false when we press it again. But when we press it for the first time, we want to, just for now, for testing purposes, to make sure it actually works. It shouldn't work like this in the future, but it might do for now. when we initially press it, we need to check to see if so when we press pistol, we need to check if rifle is active, and if it's true, we need to set rifle to false. Okay, and same for the other side, but obviously the other way around. So we need to check that the pistol is active, and if it is, also set it to false. That way we won't get any confusion with our animations. And let's just give it a quick test. So we are looking normal. Oh, I understand why it's not doing anything. In the locomotion, we need to obviously give these some values first. So we want walk, pistol, hip for this one. Add in our ground speed, compile, locomotion, crouch. Let's put in crouch, pistol, hip, ground speed, yep, compile, rifle, hip, add in the ground speed and locomotion, and then finish off with the crouch, rifle, hip. Okay, compile, play. Now 2 is working for rifle, that seems to be fine, but I've obviously put something wrong in the code because it's not telling the pistol, rifle, pistol, rifle, rifle, so that's fine. It's not setting it to true. There we go. Don't forget to tick your things, obviously. Okay, let's try again. And that should all be set up ready to add weapons in and stuff. So yeah, pistol comes up fine. Changes it to rifle. That's good. If we crouch with our rifle out, and if we click 1, yeah, okay, it won't actually. We need to reconfigure it a little bit. Let's just make sure if we crouch now, oh, it does. Yeah, it does. It does do it. So it's trying to, I think what it's doing, because there's not a direct link between pistol and rifle, when you try to switch to your pistol from your rifle, it takes 2 taps. And the reason for that is because it's trying to work out how to get there without having a direct link. So it's like, if I press it once, it does nothing, because it's now what it's actually doing is it's going to the idle, for example, because it doesn't know where else to go. And then it's like, oh, I know where you want me to go now from the idle. So it's taking an extra step. So the only way to do that is to create a direct link between your between these two. So I don't really know what the best way to do that would be. This is where it kind of gets a little messy, because we've got our jump there, so randomly placed. You would probably have to now create, there's definitely going to be a neater way to set this up, I'm sure there is. Maybe. Because I'm just glad I'm not making a game with prone as well, because this would be really bad. So yeah, that's kind of what needs to happen. Basically, is if you want this to work right, you need to now set up a link between these two, and then that would cut out that middle thing. Go ahead and do it. It would be exactly the same. You would just need to say when it turns off, it would go back to that if rifle and crouching was true, blah blah blah. You would just switch them up. But I'll fix that out and I'll show up in the next part, because this is going to be like a 2 or 3 part of setting this whole system up, because on top of all of this we have aim down sight to go on as well, which will be in the next episode. So thank you so much guys for watching. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and if you really enjoyed this, hit the subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me. And I will see you in the next part of setting up our first person shooter. Thank you so much guys. Take care. Bye.